biggest project in Sri Lanka, the Colombo Waterfront Cinnamon Life Resort. The project with the tallest building in the country, the one. Many other mixed development
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Scientists study the world as it is. Engineers create the world that never has been. These words by Theodore von Karman reflect the true essence of engineering and technology. Engineering and technology are not only solving today's problems, but also designing tomorrow's possibilities. In a world where change is constant, it is engineers and researchers who imagine possibilities beyond the present and turn them into a reality. This conference serves as a platform to bring together such visionary minds united by the mission of shaping a future that is yet to be created. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology, I welcome you to the SLIT International Conference on Engineering and Technology 2025. I am Nisal and I will be a co-host for this evening.
And I'm Kavinya, honored to join Nisal in guiding you through tonight's event. The SLIT International Conference on Engineering and Technology, or Sicet, is being held for fourth consecutive year. In this conference, papers will be presented in 12 technical tracks.
We now move to the ceremonial lighting of the traditional oil lamp, an auspicious ritual that marks the beginning of this significant occasion. Let us invite our distinguished dignitaries to join us on our stage for the lighting of the oil lamp.
Let us now invite our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Saputantri, Secretary to the Prime Minister, Chair of Education Task Force for Digital Transformation of Education. And today's our guest of honor, Professor Saman Senavira, Chair of National Science Foundation.
We also invite Professor Lakshman Ratnayakar, Chancellor and Chairman of SLIT, Professor Lalit Gamage, Vice Chancellor, Managing Director and CEO of SLIT, Professor Nimal Rajapaksha, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, Chair of Sicet 2025, Professor Dushanta Jayakodi, Keynote Speaker, Professor Andrei Kucherayavi, St. Petersburg State University of Telecommunications, Russia, Keynote Speaker, Professor Safni Aifas, INRS Canada, Professor Rahul Atalage, Pro Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Nuwan Kodagoda, Pro Vice Chancellor, Faculty of Computing, Professor Udeni Navagamua, General President, Sri Lanka Association for Advancement of Sciences, Professor Anta Gomes, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Mr. Chandima Leuke Bandara, Chief Operating Officer of SLIT, representing ICC, our gold sponsor, Mr. Bhatia Atukorala, representing Curtin, Australia, our gold sponsor, Ms. Anjali Gamage, representing SLIT alumni, Mr. Ashen Fernando. And we welcome our author to light the oil lamp. We also invite Mr. Shaminder and Mr. Udita to try the oil lamp. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, We kindly request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
Thank you. We invite you to take your seats.
We now present the cultural welcome, a traditional dance performance by Team Shark, an award-winning ensemble of our very own SLIT students. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Team Shark.
Thank you, Team Shark, for that mesmerizing performance. Next, now it's my pleasure to invite the conference chair, Professor Dushanta Jayakodi, to deliver the opening remarks and officially set the tone for Sicet 2025. Professor Dushanta is a senior member of IEEE and fellow IET. He received his PhD in electronics and telecommunication engineering from University College Dublin, Ireland in 2014. He was ranked among top 2% of scientists in the world in 2021 to 2024 according to the Stanford Elsevier list. He received the Sri Lankan Presidential Award for his outstanding research performance for year 2019-2020, among many other awards and recognitions locally and internationally. Professor Dushanta is a professor at the Department of Electronics and Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, SLIIT, and leading the SLIT Center for Excellence in Informatics, Electronics and Transmission. Concurrently, he is also a professor in Lusofona University, Portugal. Since 2025, he is also a visiting professor at Carnegie Mellon University, United States of America. Currently, he serves as the chair of IEEE ComSoc Sri Lanka section. From 2019 to date, he serves as a spark for Government of India. Throughout his career, he has secured nearly $6 million in research funding from various international institutes and grant agencies including Marie Curie Action. He has published over 230 peer-reviewed journal articles, conference papers, and books in wireless communications. Over to you, sir.
Chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Saptantri, the Secretary to the Prime Minister and Chair of the Education Task Force for Digital Transformation of Education. Guest of Honor, Professor Saman Senavira, Chairman, National Science Foundation, Sri Lanka. Vice Chancellor, Professor Lalit Gamage, Chancellor, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, and Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor and Provost, Professor Nimal Rajapaksha, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Rahul Attarage, and Professor Juan Kodaguda, the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, our good friend, Professor Ayanta Gomez, and all other deans, our distinguished keynote speakers, all other invited dignitaries, and the authors, students, ladies and gentlemen. So good evening and very warm welcome to Sicet 2025. And we have been working very hard over the last 8 months, and last 3 months has been really a hotspot to bring this conference together. And this year's conference we have themed as Next Generation Engineering for Digital and the Sustainable Solutions. And that signals the SLIIT's commitment for advancing research and development to the nation and also the region. So this year's programs, we have about 12 tracks, and actually we have covered most of the engineering, AI, machine learning, and telecommunication, mechanical engineering, robotics, and civil engineering, infrastructure, and so many other disciplines. So this is truly an interdisciplinary conference. Right, so we were also able to invite two very distinguished keynote speakers. They are our friends and collaborators. Professor Sofiane Nafis from INRS Canada, a good friend of mine, and Professor Andrei Kucheviari from State University of Telecommunication, Russia. He's an expert in the International Telecommunication Union. Right, if I talk about the conference, this year we have received 176 papers, and during this period, we are presenting 102 papers accepted for publication in the main conference track. And 36 papers were accepted among the foreign affiliations, so that actually attests the acceptance received by the international community for Sicet 2025. And we are very delighted and grateful for our international and the local authors. We received the papers from US, Canada, Portugal, United Kingdom, India, Russia, Bangladesh, and many other countries. So I also would like to invite all the authors to use this as an opportunity to collaborate, integrate, and share your ideas. So this year we have introduced a new track that is called Industry Connect, where we try to bring the synergy between the industry and academia. So normally, as we know, we work on the silos, so it is good to have, Industry Connect track where we can discuss the problems that are more inherent to the industry. So Sicet 2025 publication partners are ACM, International Conference Proceeding Series, ICPS, that will be published via the ACM Digital Library, and also partner journal. In this year, we have partnered with 3 publication houses and about 10 journals, and most of them are Scopus Index and the Web of Science. Therefore, our publication chair, Professor Prasanna, and the TPC chair, Professor Manjula, and co-chair, Dr. Lakmini, so they have worked very hard in selecting the papers, because we have to make sure the papers, once we submit for the initial technical review of the journal, they won't be offloaded. We have worked with nearly 300 reviewers, locally and internationally, and in each review, we made sure at least we get 1 international review in order to showcase and also make sure that our research are internationally competitive. So, a conference of this level won't be success without effort of so many people. And I'm not going to mention all of them. I must thank and acknowledge the support given by the Vice Chancellor and the SDVC of SLIIT, and also our Dean, Professor Gomez. He has supervised every aspect of the conference. And I must also acknowledge the support of my team. Actually, I'm just presenting here today, but behind me there are about 50 people worked every day, day and night. And over the last 2 weeks, we were working without sleep. So, and many of you are academics here, and all of you have been part of the conferences. You know what it means. And for our international guest, I would like to say welcome to Sri Lanka, and we hope you enjoy the culture and then have a productive conference experience. And for our local authors, I would like to thank for bringing and then pushing the frontiers of Sri Lanka to the global scale. And with that note, I declare the opening of the conference, and invite you to engage in a productive and inspiring experience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pride and honor, I now invite a pioneering leader, one who has been the driving force behind the growth and excellence of SLIT. Professor Lalit Gamage, Vice Chancellor, Managing Director, and CEO, to share his words of wisdom with us.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Pradeep Saputantri, Secretary to the Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, our chief guest today. Professor Saman Senavira, Guest of Honor and Chairman of National Science Foundation. Keynote speakers, Professor Sofia Nafes and Professor Andrei Kuchravi. I hope I'm pronouncing your names right. Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Chairman of SLIT. Professor Nimal Rajapaksa, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Provost. Pro-Vice Chancellors, staff of SLIT, distinguished invitees. Sicet 2025 is the 4th international conference organized by the Faculty of Engineering of SLIT. Although this is the 4th conference, over the last 4 years, we have witnessed a significant growth in this conference in terms of both the number of papers submitted, the quality of the papers, the acceptance rate, and also, most notably, the international participation. So I congratulate the team who organized, the faculty and the team who organized this conference. SLIT has several other conferences. We have 4 faculties: computing, engineering, business, and humanities and sciences. So computing has a very long-standing conference, ICAC. Then business school has another conference, International Conference on Sustainable Digital Business. And Faculty of Humanities and Sciences, SciCash, SLIT International Conference in Advances in Sciences and Humanities. So all these conferences have gained significant growth over the past years. So let me tell you a little bit about, I know there are new faces, international visitors. We are celebrating our 25 years this year. So we started SLIT actually in 1999, but we took the first batch in year 2000. SLIT started with the prime objective of producing sufficient number of IT professionals to support the fast-growing IT industry of the country. So most of us have come from Moroto University. At the time, although the industry was growing fast, the number of IT graduates produced by the universities combined was less than 150, but the industry was asking for thousands. So we were trying to find a solution, and the solution that we found was SLIT, and initially I kind of wanted to match the number that was produced by the other universities combined, but when we invited applications, we had over 3,100 applicants, 150 applicants actually, for a diploma program in IT, and we took 400 students. This was at a rented location in Colombo, and then second year on, we took 600. We had more than 6,000 applications, we took 600, and then we simultaneously established our main campus in Malabe. With the establishment of that in 2002, we took more than 1,000 students. So we had only computing at the time when we started, but because of our intervention, industry also grew very rapidly. In fact, 25% year on year to become the 5th largest exporter for the country. And in fact, it has become 5th, 4th, and during COVID time, it became even, because of its resilience, 3rd largest exporter. But again, it's back to 5th largest, I think. But we have contributed and continue to contribute towards the workforce necessary for this industry, and we contribute about 70% of the workforce. And the industry is still growing, and for SLIT, this is the largest faculty. We are the largest university, if I'm not incorrect. We have over 25,000 students, and more than half the students are in the Faculty of Computing. So, SLIT, our contribution, as a university must contribute to the nation's development. So, just to give you a little bit of highlights, we produce annually more than 3,500 graduates in various disciplines. In the disciplines that I mentioned, we are a fully fledged university now, ranging from computing, engineering, humanities, architecture, law, nursing, and so on. And the value of these graduates are over 10 billion rupees annually. Then we provide scholarships to needy students and high-performing students, and tuition subsidies to the tune of 1.1 billion annually. And in terms of contribution, so this is for the economic development and for social responsibility of a university, and also in terms of taxes to the government, we pay more than 1.5 billion. So I think we can be considered as a good corporate citizen in terms of achieving our objectives, in addition to providing higher education opportunities to a wider section of this country. So let me tell you a little bit about research. We place very high emphasis on research, and we have placed very high emphasis on research from the very beginning. My own experience is, I studied in Canada at UBC. When we come back as young researchers, we are highly energized, highly enthusiastic, and we wanted to do research in addition to obviously teaching at the universities. But our enthusiasm gets dampened because of certain things. It's very difficult to have access to funding for research. It's difficult to get industry collaborators. It is no proper facilities or mechanisms to have graduate students to support research programs. So these were some of the things that I knew as bottlenecks. So what we did when we started research programs, at SLIT, each researcher, each senior lecturer and above is given a research grant from SLIT. And that grant could be used to buy equipment, to hire research students, or even, mainly we want to leverage that to get more funding from industry. And we have PhD programs, and we provide scholarships for research students to take up research programs. And something that we all know, there are Sri Lankans. If you go to any Western university, you have Sri Lankan universities, Sri Lankan professors and Sri Lankan students. Let me illustrate a point to prove this. When I was doing my master's in England with some of my colleagues from Morato University, and one actually is the Vice Chancellor, current Vice Chancellor, we decided to drive up to Scotland. This was like around the noon time, and we didn't even have a place to stay. But we knew that if you go to a university, we can always find a Sri Lankan student, and we know that Sri Lankan hospitality, they would always allow us to stay. So we drove up to Glasgow, went to Strathclyde University, and went through the residences, and there was a guy who was washing rice. We went and asked, "Are you Sri Lankan?" He said, No, I'm not Sri Lankan, I'm Malaysian, but I know a Sri Lankan. We went and found that Sri Lankan guy and stayed there with him for 1 whole week. And today that guy is a professor at Leeds University. Anyway, so this is it's the basis for our honorary professor network. So we knew that there are so many Sri Lankans and Sri Lankans who are willing to work with us. So we have established an honorary professor network to support our researchers, and we have over 50 from well-known universities, well-known researchers, mostly Sri Lankans, but also there are others as well. So they collaborate with us on joint research projects, jointly supervising our students, providing some funding, providing additional research opportunities for our young staff. So there are many ways these honorary professors support us, and that also has enhanced our research program. So what is the result of all this? To tell you the result of all this is over a period of 25 years, according to Times Higher Education ranking, we have become the 3rd ranked university in Sri Lanka. And for computing, we are the 2nd ranked university. And we publish over 300 Scopus indexed publications. We have received research grants, first about 125 million from the World Bank for the private sector higher education. Then last year, I know Professor Rahul Atalage with Erasmus funding, we received a considerable grant. And this year, we received about 260 million rupees of research grants, again by the Faculty of Engineering. I'm very happy, and congratulations to the team. So now we continue to receive these grants, and our research programs are at a very high standard. And we have 5 researchers who are in the world's top 2%. So I think those are remarkable numbers in terms of, and we are very happy with the achievements. But we are all engineers. I think engineers, one of the toughest problems that we do, we all carry out research. But how do people benefit from this research? And that is, I think, one of the most difficult problems, technology diffusion. How do we actually diffuse technology? And I know from my own experience, I can narrate another story. When you become older, you like to narrate stories. So this was in Canada. We developed a machine for fish processing. And it was some time back, it was a high-tech machine with AI, computer vision, and robotics. It was working fine and it could save $5 million a year. But we went and installed this machine in industry. Doesn't work. Because this machine was operated by engineers, intelligent people. When you put it in industry, the environment is different. Operators are not so educated. So we had to change the machine. So it required another period of research. Obviously, most of the concepts were right, but we had to develop a new robotic cutter and so on. So this is a very tough task. So one thing is we need to have industry engagement from the very beginning, because you are going to contribute to the economy, to the development of the economy or the society. And this, we have so many projects, and we have over 100 AI-based agricultural projects, and we are trying to diffuse this technology to the people, to the benefit of the people. And similarly, all these projects that we are doing, we must carry out further research so that I know that we need the support of the government, we need the support of industry, because this is a function that cannot be done just by ourselves. But I would like you to focus on this aspect while advancing knowledge. How to disseminate knowledge or how to diffuse technology that is developed is also very crucial. With that, I will stop. Thank you very much for inviting me. And also, I would like to thank the organizers, and I wish you very successful deliberations over the period. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's now my honor to invite Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Chancellor of SLIIT, a guiding force whose wisdom and leadership continue to inspire our community. Sir, you may address the gathering and share your words of inspiration with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Saputantri, the guest of honor, Professor Saman Senvira, Vice Chancellor, Professor Lalit Gamage, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Nimal Rajapaksa, Pro Vice Chancellors, Deans, distinguished guests, especially our guests from foreign countries who have come all the way to make this conference a success. As the Vice Chancellor said, SLIT was established in 1999, but we really started the programs in 2000 in a very humble manner. In the early stages, SLIT was basically a teaching university. We were focusing more on producing IT graduates. The Vice Chancellor gave the details. But today, we have become one of the largest universities in this country. And also, we run a wide spectrum of programs, and also heavily involved in research. And I'm very glad to note that the researchers at SLIT do a lot of research relevant to the industry. In fact, in the Times Higher Education ranking, we are considered as the topmost university in Sri Lanka, where the programs and research are heavily biased towards the industry. We produce graduates who are readily employable in the industry. Our surveys indicate that over 98% of our graduates get employment at the time they attend the convocation. And also, we find that almost all our research degrees or programs are directly related to the industry. We collaborate with the industry and do research, which is a very important thing. For a developing country like Sri Lanka, certainly there's a role for fundamental research, but more importantly, we need research to improve the economy and the industry. South Korea is a very good example. University researchers and the research institutes have played a major role in making South Korea a more developed country. We hope Sri Lankan researchers also do the same, because more input comes from the academia and the researchers in the country in research institutes should benefit the industry and the economy. We have done a lot of consultancies as well with the industry, because when it comes for very high-tech consultancy, it is the universities that can give the inputs. We are very happy to note that the Faculty of Engineering is heavily involved with the industry, with professional bodies like the Institution of Engineers and other organizations. Our architects are involved with Sri Lanka Institute of Architects. Quantity surveyors are involved with the Institute of Chartered Quantity Surveyors, IT, the Computer Society of Sri Lanka, and so on, which is a very important aspect of university life. Our staff and students have to be involved with the industry and in professional bodies. We are very happy to note that our staff are heavily involved with the industry as well as professional bodies. I hope these conferences of this nature will help for more collaborations with other universities in Sri Lanka as well as in foreign countries. And very importantly, we have seen that there are papers coming from the industry as well. We get a lot of ideas from industry when we listen to them. And in fact, that has helped our faculty to get engaged with the industry and do joint research, which will finally help the industry as well as the researchers. I do not wish to talk a lot because the time is limited. Let me thank the organizing team for inviting me to address this very important conference, and I hope this conference will be a great success and help the country's economy in time to come. Thank you very much, and all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to have with us tonight our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Sabutantri, Secretary to the Prime Minister, Chair of Educational Task Force for Digital Transformation of Education. Mr. Sabutantri is a highly accomplished special grade officer of the Sri Lankan Administrative Services. With decades of experiences serving a key national roles, including as Commissioner General of the Department for Registration of Persons and Additional Secretary to the Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, with postgraduate qualifications in law, development studies, and public policy, along with a distinguished record of leadership in governance. He continues to play a vital role in shaping public administration and national policy. We are privileged to have him with us today to grace this occasion. May I now respectfully invite our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Sabutantri, to address the gathering.
Good evening to all. Professor Saman Senavira, Chairman of National Science Foundation and guest of honor today, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Chancellor of SLIIT, Professor Lalit Kamage, Vice Chancellor, Conference Chair, fellow keynote speakers, and esteemed guests, members of the academic and professional community, students, and ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to address you today at the inaugural ceremony of 4th Sicet International Conference on Engineering and Technology, conference organized by the Faculty of Engineering of Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology, Sicet. I noticed that this year's theme, Next Generation Engineering for Digital and Sustainable Solutions, is not just timely. It's at the very heart of our national vision. It perfectly encapsulates the ambitious journey of the government embarked on with the National Digital Strategy 2030. Also, it's directly related to the task force I am leading, where the digital transformation of education is one of its domains. As it's highly relevant to the audience today at House, I'd like to highlight the National Digital Strategy 2030. The strategy is not merely a government policy, it's our shared roadmap to a digital and sustainable future for Sri Lanka. It's designed to reflect the diverse needs and aspirations of Sri Lankans. It's a vision to transform our economy and society, ensuring we are at the forefront of the digital revolution in the Asia-Pacific region. The core of this strategy rests on 3 pillars. Pillar 1, enhance economic competitiveness, focusing on accelerating the digitization of key economic sectors from agriculture to manufacturing. Second pillar, create high-paying jobs, a strategy designed to create inclusive opportunities by fostering a workforce with modern skills. This involves ensuring broadband connectivity, access, and use are universal, enabling people everywhere to connect to the digital economy. The government is also committed to building a strong digital industry, skills, and jobs pipeline that facilitates industry, academia, partnerships, and provides tailored training programs. Pillar 3, deliver trusted and inclusive public service, where government's goal is to provide reliable and efficient services to everyone, everywhere, by strengthening our digital data and services infrastructure to maximize the value of data. Government is on its journey to create secure digital transactions for people, businesses, and government, forming the foundation of a transparent and efficient digital services. Digital strategy of the government is to drive innovation, enhance the economy, and create inclusive societal progress. We look to our higher education institutions for leadership, collaboration, and innovation. Here, where platform like this is vital, as this encourage a multidisciplinary approach to fostering research and innovation that encompasses research in theory and suffers a unique platform to present innovative ideas. Therefore, I would like to thank Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology as it consistently stood at one of the forefronts of information technology education and research sector in Sri Lanka, playing pivotal role in bridging academic excellence with societal needs, particularly in the realm of IT. I commend the forward-looking approach of the Faculty of Engineering at SLIT, integrating AI-driven knowledge into its curriculum. It perfectly aligns with evolving industry expectations and the future needs of the profession. This is why many of your graduates are not just finding employment, but are also becoming valuable contributors to our nation's economy on a global scale. In closing, let me reaffirm that the journey towards a digitally empowered and sustainable future is not a solitary one. As we explore the next generation of engineering solutions today, let's remain committed to building systems that are not only technologically advanced, but also inclusive, ethical, and environmentally responsible. Congratulations for the 4th SLIT International Conference on Engineering and Technology. I wish all participants a productive and thought-provoking conference. May your discussions spark new ideas, forge meaningful partnerships, and contribute to the advancement of Sri Lanka and beyond. Thank you, and may you all have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, sir. Now, we are deeply indebted to our distinguished sponsors and partners whose generosity has added immense value to this evening's proceedings.
Our platinum sponsor, National Science Foundation. Our gold sponsors, Curtin University Australia, International Construction Consortium, ICC Private Limited.
To further celebrate their contribution, let us now view sponsors' video presentation.
Progress begins with a fundamental question. Why? What if? How can we do this better? For over 5 decades, science has driven our solutions, transforming communities, elevating lives, shaping Sri Lanka's future. At the heart of this national progress stands the National Science Foundation of Sri Lanka. Established in 1968, we have progressively widened our scope over the years to evolve into Sri Lanka's premier public institution. A catalyst in transforming the nation's science, technology, and innovation landscape. Our core mandate: strengthen national research capacity, foster knowledge creation, cultivate talent, and propel innovation, all in service of Sri Lanka's sustainable national progress. NSF provides a wide spectrum of financial support across Sri Lanka's entire innovation ecosystem. Our grant schemes propel innovations from ideation to market, bringing solutions to society. We empower scientists, educators, entrepreneurs, and students to deliver tangible, real-world solutions that address national challenges. Through strategic programs, we bridge disciplines, spark creativity, and enable transformative advancements across all vital sectors. Scientific excellence is built on people, and NSF is committed to nurturing Sri Lanka's next generation of research leaders, empowering the nation's future. We support training, global exchanges, and advanced research opportunities, elevating human capital and expanding Sri Lanka's global scientific reach. NSF champions a scientifically literate society and an innovation-driven economy. Our outreach programs bring science closer to people, inspiring curiosity, critical thinking, and discovery.
We are aiming to improve the R&D economy of the country, so NSF will play a catalytic role in this process.
Our initiatives are closely aligned with Sri Lanka's national priorities and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We translate policy into tangible impact through evidence, partnerships, and a shared vision for national development. NSF's impactful work has earned local and global recognition for transparency, innovation, and excellence. We move forward with conviction to catalyze discoveries, empower every promising idea, and establish science as a cornerstone of national prosperity and global competitiveness. From protecting what matters to igniting what's possible, we safeguard Sri Lanka's resources, fuel its growth, nurture its brightest minds, and bring science into the hands of every citizen. Because when science thrives, a nation rises. The National Science Foundation, where discovery begins and the future is made.
The great university should look ever forward. Former Australian Prime Minister John Curtin's words and advocacy for positive change continue to inspire our research and teaching at Curtin University today. Our courses are designed alongside industry, so through world-class immersive learning experiences, graduates are prepared and have the skills employers are looking for. We're making a difference by growing our global presence so more students worldwide can be part of Curtin's diverse and inclusive community and can connect with our university's signature innovation and entrepreneurship. In our research, looking ever forward means reaching outward and collaborating with other leading organisations, sharing and building the kind of expertise that will change the world. We're also nurturing partnerships with industry and the wider community that are changing lives now. And by maintaining Curtin's standing among the world's best universities, together we can meet our commitment to make tomorrow better.
Once again, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for our sponsors.
Now we are once again privileged to witness a vibrant presentation by Team Ignite, whose artistry reflects the enduring spirit of Sri Lanka's illustrious history. Please enjoy.
Thank you, Team Ignity, for that majestic performance. Now let's proceed to the presentation of SLIT Excellence Awards.
The SLIT Engineering Excellence Award is a prestigious recognition given by Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology to outstanding engineering organizations in Sri Lanka. It focuses on the manufacturing and engineering service sectors, specifically rewarding those that excel in innovation, research and development, ethical and sustainable engineering practices. A distinguished panel of judges comprised of leading figures from the industry has evaluated these applications based on predefined criteria.
We are honored to invite our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Saputantri, our guest of honor, Professor Saman Senavira, and our two keynote speakers, Professor Andrea Kuchiravi, Professor Sofni Arfes, to present the awards to the winners. They will be accompanied by Professor Ayantha Gomez, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, SLIT.
The first award is for Excellence in Engineering Services, SME Scale. This award is presented to GFC Waste Management Private Limited.
Okay, the second award is for the Excellence of Manufacturing category, Large Scale. This award is presented to CBL Investment Private Limited.
The third award is for Excellence in Engineering Services, Large Scale. This award is presented to Lagdanavi Limited. Thank you, sir. You may be seated. We extend our gratitude to our bronze sponsors, Civil and Structural Engineering Consultants Private Limited, Lanka Transformer Limited, LTL Holdings.
Co-sponsors, Sicily Hanura and Kia Private Limited, Pile Test Consultant Private Limited, our media partners, ITN and Sirasa TV. Publication partners, Association for Computing Machinery, United States of America, Aris2 Journal, Lusofona University, Portugal, Scientific.net Publisher, Switzerland.
To further celebrate their contributions, let us now view the sponsor video presentations.
The Civil and Structural Engineering Consultants Group aims to be the resource and knowledge base in the field, while maintaining professional standards for structural engineering, ensuring technical excellence, safety, creativity, sustainability, and innovation. CSEC has played a major role in the development of the construction industry of Sri Lanka. Having secured mega projects, CSEC has thereby been able to design or engage in most of the high-rise structures along the Colombo skyline, while maintaining a strong international profile. CSEC comprises of some of the most prominent structural engineers in the industry and academia, such as Professor Priyan Mendes, a world-renowned engineer and researcher, Engineer Shiramal Fernando, a leading and well-known structural engineer in Sri Lanka, and several other professionals who are experts in their respective fields of building and structural engineering and services. The group has around 14 companies focusing on many fields, from structural design to construction management, building services, education, project management, highways and infrastructure, building research, and even plantations and livestock. Some of CSEC's iconic projects include the Lotus Tower and the biggest project in Sri Lanka, the Colombo Waterfront Cinnamon Life Resort, the project with the tallest building in the country, The One, many other mixed development, hotel, apartment, highway and factory projects within Sri Lanka, and even international projects in countries such as Australia, Maldives, Myanmar, and Saudi Arabia. The CSEC group aims to develop the total engineering fraternity in Sri Lanka and even internationally, while being a trendsetter in the industry through innovation, state-of-the-art technologies, and excellence in engineering.
Power, electrical power, is life. It's the enabler of opportunities, the sustainer of ideas, the leveler of the playing field, the conductor of innovation, the distributor of knowledge, the evolutionary, the revolutionary, the enlightening. Power is the birther of modern civilization. It energizes hope, ambition, and progress. For you, for the country, for 8.1 billion human beings on Earth. The thirst for power is insatiable, because power is everywhere. It's in everything we do. Everything we need, everything we want, everything we will ever achieve will be empowered by power, electrical power. And no one understands power like we do. We generate, innovate, distribute, maintain, purpose and repurpose the entire ecosystem of power. Pioneers for over 40 years. So, as the world switches on a new era of renewable, clean, sustainable power, we are in the front line, transforming the landscapes of tomorrow into fields of power fertility. Because if power is life, then we are its lifeline. LTL Holdings.
People, passion, precision. We have a mix of young professionals from varied fields that will bring accurate results with a passion that I think no other company can bring onto the table. We welcome new clients with opportunity. We really value the depth of our relationship, especially in today's digital world where connections can be made very easily. So once we establish that initial trust, throw everything that we have at them. We are transforming into a company with many corporate processes, and obviously planning is an essential tool. We have formed a definitive 5-year plan that focuses on niche products and services, especially in waste management, where we are both a service provider and a technology provider. And we believe that these will be our USPs to grow both within Sri Lanka and outside over the next 5 years.
On behalf of the organizing committee, we once again convey our profound thanks to our sponsors for standing beside us and making this event truly remarkable.
We would now like to invite the Chancellor of SLIT, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Vice Chancellor of SLIT, Professor Lalit Gamage, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor of SLIT, Professor Nimal Rajapaksha, accompanied by the Conference Chair of Sicet 2025, Professor Dushanta Jakodi, to present the tokens of appreciations to our chief guest and guest of honor.
We kindly invite the chief guest to this evening, Mr. Pradeep Saputantri.
We also invite the guest of honor to today's event, Professor Saman Senavira. Our guest of honor, Professor Saman Senavira.
Thank you, sir. You may sit.
I now invite the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Anta Gomez, to deliver the vote of thanks and expressing the appreciation to all those who have made this event possible.
Good evening. The chief guest, guest of honor, the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, keynote speakers, sponsors, authors, and my dear friends. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to be able to give the vote of thanks on this special occasion, the inauguration ceremony of Sicet 2025, the international conference organized by the Faculty of Engineering. Faculty of Engineering has 5 departments: quantity surveying, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronic, and materials engineering. We are especially honored by the presence of our chief guest, Mr. Pradeep Saputantri, Secretary to the Honorable Prime Minister and Chair of the Education Task Force for Digital Transformation of Education. Thank you, sir, for coming here with your busy schedules. We know being one of the top-ranked government administrative officers, finding time is not easy at all. Thanks a lot again for coming here. And we shall be happy to lend our hand to the task force you are leading, digital transformation of education, upon your request. And I believe during the networking fellowship, we can have a few discussions. Please let us know how and when we could help you. Professor Saman Senavira, sir, it's an honor to get the chair of the premier state institution for science, technology and innovation, NSF. Not only coming here, you spent a lot of time in the morning, and we had a very lively panel discussion about research and how research can be used to enhance the economy, improve the livelihood of Sri Lankans. Those who were able to present in that session would had witnessed that how lively that discussion went on. Thank you, sir, for coming here. Then on behalf of the organizing committee and the faculty, I would like to thank the SLIT leadership, starting from the Vice Chancellor, Chancellor, Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, and all the Pro-Vice Chancellors, Deans, and also especially the administrative units, to name a few: Facilities Management, the Security Division, and importantly, Finance Division. We'll be liaising with you more and more in days to come. Thanks a lot for helping us, officers as well as junior staff members, because having a conference of this level needs a lot of logistic support also. I also extend a sincere appreciation to our distinguished keynote speakers, Professor Sofiane Afes and Professor Andri Kuchiriavi. I do apologize if I spell wrong. Thank you, sirs. Whose insights will undoubtedly enrich the discussions and outcomes of this conference. We are equally honored, perhaps to be honest, more than equally. We need to acknowledge the sponsorships given by various organizations. Without your generous support, this event would not have been possible, or rather not likely at all. Thank you very much for your generous support. I know Sri Lanka is still recovering with the economic recession. Your support means us a lot. Finally, I thank every participant, academics, authors, engineers, quantity surveyors, students who present here. Your engagement is what truly brings life and meaning to this conference. Once again, I express my gratitude to everyone who contributed. I may miss to mention you, directly or indirectly, to the success of this inauguration. Actually, this conference started yesterday with workshops. Today morning we had several technical sessions and a panel discussion. Today is sort of inauguration now, right? Tomorrow also we are going to have several technical sessions and a panel discussion. Day after tomorrow, it's the excursion. Why I mention this is, I want to sort of like apologize for any shortcomings happened in the past, present, and future during the conference. enjoy the two great keynote speeches and the fellowship dinner to come. And let's take this opportunity to make networking among different organizations, academics, industries, professional engineers, quantity surveyors. Thank you and enjoy the next hour or so, keynote speeches and a few entertainment items. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anantha, for those gracious words of appreciation.
Good evening once again. I'm Chanaka Kanda, and it is my privilege to continue hosting Sicet 2025.
And I'm Shavindra Nisankar, and I'm delighted to join Shanaka as we guide you through the rest of tonight's proceedings. Now, moving on to the more scientific sessions of this evening, I would like to invite our first distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Sofian Alphas.
Professor Sofian Alphas earned his PhD with honors in signal processing from Telecom Paris Tech in France. He has been with INRS in Montreal since 1995, where he is now a full professor. Over his distinguished career, he has held prestigious research chairs in wireless communications and telecommunications, and he directed PERWADE, a landmark research training program in Canada that united leading universities and industry partners. His pioneering contributions to wireless communications have been recognized with multiple awards, including Best Paper honors at IEEE flagship conferences, as well as recognition for his leadership as General Chair of several international IEEE events. Professor Alphas also serves on the editorial boards of leading journals in communications and signal processing.
Please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Professor Sofian Alphas to deliver the first keynote address for the evening.
Thank you for this nice introduction. I also would like to thank Professor Jayakudi for who he is in person, one of the kindest persons I ever met, but also, of course, for your role and excellent organization of this event. Many thanks too for all the organizing team. I know what it is to organize a conference, the sleepless nights, all the effort, and also many thanks to all the people here. Sri Lanka is a wonderful country. I mean, it was a long trip from Canada, but it was worth it. So without further ado, the title of my presentation is The Limitless Opportunities of ICT. I tried to make it fit with the scope of this conference and its theme. Obviously, there is a huge potential, but on the flip side, there are many challenges. And I will try to address them both, the potential and the challenges, while focusing on wireless techs and applications, technologies and applications. Just as a disclaimer, it has to be said that this talk expresses my personal views, of course, professional ones, and it doesn't engage any of the partners I would be mentioning or listing in my presentation. But nothing to worry about. All right, so I always want to start with two pictures. One taken in 2005. In the Vatican City, that's St. Peter's Square, 2005. That's the beginning of the smartphones era. And then just 8 years after, the same place, the election of another pope, and you see the huge penetration of smartphones, iPads, lighting like candles. It just illustrates, the revolution we have witnessed. I mean, the last 20, 30 years, we have like something that happened that is greater than industrialization. So, and I think that, this is a personal opinion, that wireless techs and apps in particular have played a major role. Okay, So as I mentioned, so I will always here be talking about wireless networks and systems to summarize wireless techs and apps. And to me, it's one of the key enablers of what we call the 21st century smart digital societies or economies. And I would like to focus here on empowerment. What we see here is that we are talking now about the I things or the I assets, the smart things or the smart assets. It's all about the individual, not in a way that leaves the individual alone. It's just in the sense of positive empowerment that we have now empowered citizens. So with the wireless technologies and applications, actually the whole world could be brought to you. That's one thing, okay? You can absorb all the information that is available there. That's one positive thing. But you also could be made present everywhere, virtually, with this technology. So it's the other way around, is that you can be present everywhere. That's the positive side. And I will talk about the flip side. The fact is that we often gain information, but we are not exploiting mobility. So here is a mind map on ICT and pedagogy. There are so many tools that have become available, and even this map is not up to date because we don't even see ChatGPT and DeepSeek, etc. So there are amazing opportunities in training for a new generation of trainees. This is a challenge we have to face. So we are looking for trainees, kind of superheroes. Are we achieving this? One of the questions we raise with all the opportunities we have today, with all the technology. Bear with me with this presentation of the slide, because it's a little bit lengthy. So thanks to wireless networks and systems, we have witnessed a progress from fixed communications to mobile terminals, to smart infrastructure, and that's what we call smart communications. That's one area. So we have new wireless technologies, new wireless communication paradigms, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's rather technical, but some of you will recognize all the acronyms. So with these technologies, we reach kind of an installation phase, maturity. And then these technologies started to deploy to other sectors. Through sensing and sensors. And now, with wireless technologies, what we call now smart management or smart monitoring, we move from local sensing to remote sensing to ubiquitous sensing to now smart sensing. So we find so many applications in natural resources, infrastructure, health environment, renewable energy, safety, security, you name it. So there is a penetration and deployment in other sectors and other application sectors. Now, telecommunication, by definition, is a kind of language. Right? We communicate through well-defined language, communication. Wireless as motion. Now with sensing, you have awareness. And if we see all these attributes, these are the attributes of human intelligence. We need language, we need motion, we need awareness. And with that, we are able to reach smart management. That's what we call like smart hospital, smart home, smart office, smart grid, smart vehicle, you name it. And here is the challenges that arise from this landscape. We have new ICT multidisciplinary challenges arising, and I put it in green because we rather know how to deal with these challenges. There are also completely new interdisciplinary integration challenges because Professor Gamaz, the Vice Chancellor, mentioned an experience dealing with the fishing industry because we see penetration of wireless text and apps in so many sectors. And our trainees need to know about these sectors. They cannot apply wireless text and applications without knowledge of, the receiving end, the application sector. And this is the kind of challenges we are facing now, more or less successfully. And then, when we see smart management, we have a conversion of communication, sensing, actuation, control, decision-making, big data, analytics, fusion, operation research, etc. And then, of course, artificial intelligence or computational intelligence. The big word, the buzzword, the hype, and of course, we have to pay attention to it. It has value, it has merits, but I put it in red because there is also a flip side to it and dangers. I will try to explain the next slides. It's, in summary, when I mention AI, computational intelligence, the question or the remark we have to make is, do we need to avoid trading machines behaving like humans for humans acting like machines? This is the danger. So in summary, we have new multidisciplinary technological challenges. We handle them very well. We know how to define our challenges in our field, in research. There are new interdisciplinary application-specific integration issues. I underlined the word integration. And there are completely new challenges that have to be addressed. These are social, economic challenges, new research training challenges arising, and also pending research training challenges. These are all interconnected and intertwined, and they need to be addressed in a holistic way. So we attempted at NRS to address all these shortcomings within a research training program called Persuade, and headed by my team at the Wireless Lab, and I will have the opportunity to explain a little bit some of its components and how we have been able to attempt to address some of these challenges. I come back to the earlier slides. This is like the pink picture, the rosy picture. But the flip side. Using the same character. We are connected as never before, but increasingly isolated. It's the worrisome matrix future. Where are we heading to? You might think that it's far-fetched, this presentation of, we are people like too much connected but isolated. Is this far from reality? Let's see. I come back again to the smartphone as a symbol and also a symptom of wireless technologies and applications or ICT-driven society. Here's again the flip side. So this is 1 minute video, I will run it, and I want you to tell me whether we are too far from that reality or not. I think that, we have to worry about what's coming. It's cartoonish, but, it's not far from the reality we are living today. So it's a kind of, alarming. And as I mentioned, the opportunities for new training ways and for new generation of trainees, there is also a risk coming with, these technologies and their pervasiveness. Well, the usual suspects, Facebook, social networking, just to name a few. And what we want to avoid is this scenario in our training or the training we offer, right? How to avoid this scary scenario? And the theme of the conference is like new generation of training, right? I think it's in the theme of the conference and in relation with the digital economy. Well, I will talk from a personal perspective, but also about my institution, INRS. There are initiatives headed by INRS in the sense that we need to address the social, economic issues. And, I didn't have to, make so much effort. Just went to the media page and just found out this announcement. I was not even aware of it, to be honest. It's dated September 4th. That was like a few days ago. INRS is hiring and installing 2 research chairs to analyze the impact of digital technology on culture and knowledge. This is the kind of thing we would like to see. It's not, INRS is not well known in the world, let's say. Let's be honest about it. But still, in Canada, it ranks #1 in research intensity. It has a history of 50 years. It's young, but I would like to, spend this slide explaining the structure of INRS. And by the way, when I came to the campus today at SLRIT, I was expecting something small, and it was mind-blowing to realize, with the figures you have given, like 35,000 or students, and amazing. One would expect like an institute of technology to be a small one. So this is huge. But there are other similarities with INRS that are more striking than the numbers because we are too smaller. Is the fact that we are organized around multidisciplinary research in priority sectors, not by disciplines. We have a center in Quebec City that deals with environmental aspects, natural resources, water management, waste, etc. We have another center that takes care, that focuses on health issues, biotech, etc. My center is focusing on energy, materials, ICT. And then there is a 4th center that focuses on urban, cultural, and societal issues. I learned just this morning that you have mechanical engineering, you have hospitality school, business school, within an institute that focuses on information technology. I don't know the drive and the reason for this, but I suspect that if it's the same as INRS, we have all the ingredients to address, the huge issues raised by smart digital society and economy in the 4th industrial revolution, because you need all these ingredients to successfully address these challenges. Actually, we went even farther by creating a new center that deals with rurality. That's the 5th center in Charlevoix. And then we went on to create what we call, it's in French, UMR, it's mixed research units with other universities, part of the network of University of Quebec. And you see the issues, digital transformation and support of regional development, energy transition, indigenous studies, cybersecurity, sustainable health, all the issues I have mentioned earlier. You know? So with that, under our institution, we have been able to launch this program. It lasted for 6 years, and it was focusing on research training on pervasive and smart wireless applications for the digital economy. We have many academic partners. Yeah. So, multiple academic partners, a large number of industrial partners, and the most important thing was the focus on industry-oriented research projects, partnerships, internships, etc. I know that I have 2 minutes left. The last slides I will try to accelerate is that we have today a duality and convergence in asset management. What I mean here is talking about centralization versus decentralization, and I really wanted to focus a bit on, anyway, we have on one hand 5G or 6G, which has a top-down approach. Everything is centralized to the bottom, from the top to the bottom. On the other hand, we have the IoT, the Internet of Things. It's bottom-up approach, small scale versus big scale. Centralization versus decentralization. And with the technologies we have today, we have the opportunity of implementing paradigm-shifting resource-sharing concept. Instead, with the mindset we have today, we focus on the first thing on centralization. And now we hear about the cloud, or we have been hearing about the cloud and cloud computing. In a way, this top-down management style, we try to pull up as much processing to the cloud as possible to reduce costs. So kind of, everything is put in the cloud. It's a form of expropriation, and if you want to put it mildly, it's kind of a concession from, the edge, right? The problem we face with centralization is the following, and we always learn from nature. One more time. One more click. One more. Should this goat rely on its brain or the cloud, let's say, intelligence, it will face fatal fall and death. That's certain. It has to rely on the edge, the intelligence, the local intelligence of its hooves. There is no time for communication between the hooves and the brain to adapt to that steep, terrain. It will fall if it has to rely on its brain. That underlines the fact that we need to not concentrate and not centralize everything. On the contrary, we have to balance our approach. I know that, I have been following virtualization for the last 20 years. We have been working on, fixing the issue by trying now to push down the processing to the edge layer, kind of reappropriation or reclamation. It has to be explained in more details, but we go through the fog layer as kind of an intermediate or a compromise. Anyway, we end up with something more balanced. And this is something we would like to advocate in our research, is that we would like to have a balanced approach on how to distribute resources and how to pull them together. I will try to, this is one of the projects we have executed involving Huawei and 4 university partners. And what we have tried to do is to precisely find that mixed approach that balances centralization and distribution. Neither solution is ideal, okay? We as citizens would like to concede, for instance, our security to the government. We don't want to be everyone responsible for security and for police. That's one example where you want it to be centralized. But other things, we would like it to keep it at the individual level for, for the empowerment of the individuals. If I have to make a parallel with artificial intelligence and the new technologies we have, the danger is that we are pulling up all the knowledge to one or few actors. Basically, we are making concessions of our know-how or our knowledge so that it becomes centralized. And that's a big problem. I think that it's a matter of empowerment, it's a matter of sharing that knowledge and how we use it. That's a big problem we are facing, I believe, with the new technologies, and AI in particular. So anyway, for instance, we have been working on how to transform the wireless infrastructure from an infrastructure-centric cellular layout to something more flexible. Here we have like antennas divided in cells. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of wireless communications, but you know what a cell is, a tower. And this is the conventional approach where you have a rigid structure, and we try to make it more flexible with a user-centric approach. The user, the individual, or the citizen, to make a parallel with what we are as a society, is that resources follow the user, not the other way around. So the cell is dynamic, it follows the user. This was an example of how to pool resources in terms of antennas, just an infrastructure. But the beauty of the concept of sharing is that we can extend it to, memory, spectrum, processing, power, you name it. Even more, we can share, the goals and the strategies, and that's the intelligence. But see here, in contrast to the model of, for instance, ChatGPT, this intelligence will be pushed to the cloud, centralized. What we need here is more collaboration at the edge layer, where individuals own that knowledge, own that intelligence, and share it through collaboration. We need that balanced approach. That's the risk we are facing today. So I know that I exceeded the time allocated to me. I hope that with this presentation, I've been fulfilling the theme of the conference on next generation engineering for digital and sustainable solutions. So thank you. Sorry for maybe taking more time than required. And if you have questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very insightful presentation. Now we invite our conference chair, Professor Dushyant Jayakoti, to present the token of appreciation to Professor Sofiane Afas.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, after that very insightful presentation, let's bring some extra energy on stage. Please join me in giving a very warm round of applause in welcoming our very own talents on stage. Please welcome a dance team from the Faculty of Engineering, SLIIT, Dasuni and the team on stage.
What an amazing performance. Thank you, Dasuni and the team. And we now move to our second keynote address for tonight, and it's by Professor Andrei Kuchereavi.
Professor Andrei Kuchereavi graduated from the Leningrad University of Telecommunications in 1974 and went on to serve nearly 3 decades at the Telecommunication Research Institute, LONIS, where he rose to the position of First Deputy Director. Since 1998, he has been a professor at the Bonn St. Petersburg State University of Telecommunications, later becoming a chair professor in telecommunication networks and data transmission. He has made pioneering contributions as a founder and co-founder of several research laboratories and model networks in digital and packet communications, the Internet of Things, IPTV, and telepresence services. Professor Kuchereavi has also played leading roles in global telecommunication standardization, notably within the International Telecommunication Union, where he served as the chairman of Study Group 11 until 2022. In addition, he has been a driving force behind numerous international conferences and seminars shaping research communities in teletraffic theory, the Internet of Things, and next-generation networks.
Please join me in welcoming Professor Andrei Kuchereavi. Sir, the stage is yours.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's very honor for me. My congratulations, 25 years. It's a very good date. This is a very good age, as we know. This is the age when we're thinking about future. I would like to present some new ideas on network development. We see here triple play. It's very famous construction, but if we see here, triple play now is artificial intelligence, metaverse, and plus holographic type communication. Historical view, what we would like about historical view. At the beginning of the century, when the faculty was created, we first decade the new telecommunication technology was the next generation network. It's very good achievement because it was first packet public telecommunication network. And triple play in this era, we understood as voice, video, and data service. Today, after 25 years, it's very good construction and very good for the development, but not today. Now we can see some basic ideas why we need the new triple play. First of all, about the Internet of Things, tactile Internet, Internet of Skills, and so on. For example, today we need the ultra-reliable and low-latency communication. And the second and most important part of new ideas on telecommunication. Unfortunately, the pandemic occurred and it significantly influenced the future development of networks. The networks during pandemic not very effective. Networks which was earlier. So telepresence services. Why we need telepresence services? We remember pandemic. If the doctor can be going as a holographic copier, for example, to this user, it will be another approach. Telepresence services have been known for quite some time, but their role was reevaluated precisely after pandemic. Telepresence services was the definition was made on the 2014 and ITUT recommendation H.420. What is actual and now? So, the initial set of telepresence services was made on the October of 2022. What we can see as the first set of telepresence services, teleconferences, of course. But no, only teleconferencing in which we have not holographic type communication. Now we should consider teleconferencing with possible of holographic type communication fusion. So, augmented reality, good, very good technology and very, not very new. Avatar robotics. Avatar robotics, it's needed. And robotic manipulators and telepresence services with disabilities and so on. On the basis of this idea, and in our idea, somewhat about 6G generation, in 2022, very good year for scientific achievements in network development. First international conference on 6G networking was held in Paris. On the focus of view was succeed space, air, ground, sea integrated network. We see integrated network. This is the end of convergence. It's not my proposal, it's the decision of this conference. I read, it's from conference decision. 6G networking may also be seen as a true convergence point where distinction between fixed and mobile infrastructure would not make sense anymore. If we see on these sentences, we understanding that we never see 7G, we never see 8G, we will see integrated networks. But this is the structure of integrated networks, which are popular and might be confirmed today. So the next point. On the October last year was a very interesting event on telecommunication area. It was WTCA, World Telecommunication Standards Assembly in New Delhi, and before the World Telecommunication Standards Assembly in New Delhi too, was held the Global Standardization Symposium. And on this time, many people thinking that construct of artificial intelligence and metaverse will be enough decision for telecommunication network development. So, but during discussion, during the I participate in this symposium. Specialists propose the new construction. Instead, do artificial intelligence and metaverse at holographic type communications. First, this idea was proposed by Richard Lee. It's a very famous man on ITUT. He was the chairman of ITU focus group on Network 2030. And in 2018, focus group proposed and said on 2030, the society will be holographic. What can we do? We should propose the decision which support this idea. In 2030, the society will be holographic. I would like it thesis, and I think it's good. So we see artificial intelligence, metaverse, and holographic type communication. On the artificial intelligence, it's well known, and we see three phases. First of all, narrow artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence educated on the data sets, the embodied artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence embodied on the from information of environment, sentient, and artificial general intelligence, when artificial intelligence will think that one individual. Oh, there are many applications of artificial intelligence on network today. It's for fog computing, it's for V2X on vehicle ad hoc network, and so on. This is some papers of our scientific school. It's only one school, but we see how many papers. But in today, artificial intelligence application, we can see one very bad situation. I told about hallucination. How the people prepare the data set for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence educate on this data set. And sometimes he proposed the decision which cannot based on this data set. It's name of hallucination. So we propose some maybe some temporary decision. This is a humanoid robot with a head in the form of holographic telepresence endpoint. The little video. Holotar, holographic avatar. We see the head. This is endpoint of holographic link. We go to future. About metaverse. we should consider what the Ernst Young wrote in the white paper in 2022. Many people, Ernst Young is very famous company, a digital iteration on the internet. The new iteration of internet. This is the most important point of metaverse. But we remember that metaverse is likely company Meta from Zuckerberg. So, in October, December 2022, by June 2024, International Education Union was working the special group on metaverse. And there are many people, there are many countries, there are many points of view. But in these documents, we can see the new name, multiverse. Each of us, each country, each maybe medicine, maybe industry can create own verse. For example, network verse, for example, medicine verse, and so on. The request only one. It's needed that all these verses connected by ITUT standards. It's a very democratic decision. In my opinion, of course, we are very try on it decision. The national verses needed. So, first of all, the metaverse based on the virtual reality, on the augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, and so on. But on the June of 2023, very famous scientist from our specialty, Jan Akildis, and his colleagues published a paper where he told about some, especially when we can implementation holographic type communication. It's not only sight, hearing, and touch, if we see it, for augmented reality and so on. We need to add smell and taste. Why not? The technology of holographic type communication is help with. So this is about Richard towards holographic society. I told about this global standard symposium I told you. In 2022, we organized a laboratory on the grant of our ministry on 6G searching. And begin the working on the holographic type communications. It's not very simple, because during 2024 or 2022, all people, and me too, thinking about for holographic type communication, we need speed around 4 terabit per second. It's very good for big company, it's very good for big enterprises, but it's not good for university, for medicine, for all people. Remember, which we working on public packet network. So we thinking about some decision and decrease the request speed on 1,000 times. We have some decision which give us possibility to use the speeds around 1 gigabit per second. And propose free technologies for this, with a holographic telebridge, with the end of telebridge in holographic avatar, and one more holographic personal terminal. This holographic personal terminal on the construction of real computer. It's the same price, $1,500. It's not very big. It's like a computer. So we propose this. We make a proposal for ITUT and a little more picture. It's about HoloLink. You see, man? Follow that. Professor Muskana lecture on our university. He is in the closed environment. This is holographic engineering. This is holographic communication experience. Yes, we win on the United Nations competition Metaverse Thinkathon, third place. This is the certificates. And this is our team. Why I would like to see to you our team. All very young, Professor Volkov, student Svechnikov, Avatar, Pankov, Professor Mutkana, and one more girl, PhD, Marishkin Nastya. So, on the basis of this success, now we're working on the, in my opinion, very interesting project. This is maybe a part of Cityverse, but of course it will be a part of Cityverse, but why projects have important interest, for example, for St. Petersburg. You can see this is the first pictures about holographic St. Petersburg. I repeat the idea which today I say some time, the 2030, it will be holographic society. One more, our development. This is the telepresence suite. What is telepresence suite? This is a way for people to communicate with metaverse. This is the interface between physical world and virtual world, mirror world, and so on. We can see here the portal to networkers, our student, and some more about this. This is the laboratory, it's not very interesting. What we can see? We can see the special suit named Cold. The network speed 600 megabit per second. You see Professor Volkov, and it's his avatar. Why it's very important. For example, the application of this interface between physical world and network world. Remote rehabilitation. We working together with our medical center for people with paralysis of hands, young children and young people. Why it's needed? Very big country, and not only very big country. The people in medical center not have possibility to rehabilitation, for example, for 2 or 3 or 6 months. It's needed for these problems. So, in the telecommunication, in the telepresence suite, we can organize the remote rehabilitation. It's very important, in my opinion, application, which show us that the works on, with the investigation on the words and telepresence use is very good for social problem. We will win one more prize during CIS 25 in Geneva this year with telepresence suit called was one of champions. Over the past 5 years, our team proposed 128 contributions, and we have 2 books, one in English on River Publishing, one in Russia, and now we support the program on English in our university on the terms of metaverse and holographic type communication. Conclusion, I think, what's the conclusion? After that, I think that conclusion will be available in 2030. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please remain with us on stage. Please remain with us on stage. And now we invite Professor Ayantha Gomes, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, to present a token of appreciation to Professor Andre Kucheriavi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to a very special segment of tonight's program, the awarding of the sponsorship tokens. We take this moment to recognize and appreciate the generous support extended by our sponsors, without whose contribution this evening would not have been a reality. So, I would now like to invite our Senior Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Nimal Rajapaksha, the Conference Chair, Professor Dushyanta Jayakudi, and the Finance Chair, Dr. Lasantha Seneviratna, on stage to award the sponsorship tokens. As we announce the organization's names, we kindly invite a representative from your organization to come on stage to accept our appreciation tokens. The platinum sponsor for the year 2025, the 4th Sicet conference, is the National Science Foundation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have two gold sponsors for Sicet 2025. And number one is Curtin University. And then we have International Construction Consortium, ICC, if you may.
Next, we call upon the bronze sponsors of the event. The first bronze sponsor is Civil and Structural Engineering Consultants Private Limited. The next bronze sponsor, LTL Holdings Limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, our co-sponsors for Sicet 2025 are Sicily Hanaro Encare Private Limited, and we have Pile Test Consultants Private Limited. Thank you, sir.
According to Charles Darwin, in the long history of humankind, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. As we approach the end of this fruitful and remarkable evening, the inauguration ceremony of Sicet 2025, let us wind up this session with a quote from Carl Sagan. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. Let this conference be the spark that drives us to keep exploring, questioning, and discovering together.
And as we conclude tonight's proceedings, this is a gentle reminder about the technical sessions that are to be held at the Faculty of Engineering of SLIIT tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all the dignitaries for a group photograph on stage. Please.
And after this photograph, we cordially invite you to join us at the fellowship and networking session. Have a very wonderful and enjoyable evening. Thank you.